This is the Stereosis.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Stereosis. Today in our episode we're discussing about the most loyal dog on the planet. This dog is called Hachiko. Hachiko was born in Japan on 10th of November 1923. Hachiko is an Akita breed of dog. This is just a kind of a Japanese dog that is of big size. Hachiko has shown the humanity how to be loyal and fidel to friends and family, celebrated in Japan and across the world as a symbol of fidelity and loyalty. Now, the story of Hachiko is that very touching and is that of love and loyalty to the owner and to your family and to every person as you can interpret it. Now, Hachiko was born in 1923, and a year after that, that's the next year around November, and the next year that's wasn't recorded actually when the owner bought the dog, which is Hida Shibare. You know, Hida Shibare was a professor of agriculture in Imperial University in Tokyo. And he bought the dog Hachiko as a pet. That's the next year, which is 1924. And whenever he wants to go to work, and the dog takes him, like kind of escorts him to the Shibuya train station. And every day this thing happens. So when the dog takes the professor to the train station, the dog goes home, just like that, and then waits. Then once is the time for the man to come back from work, the dog goes to the train station and they go back together. And this is what the dog was doing for a year. From that 1924 to 1925, at exactly May 21st, 1925, the dog went to the train station in the evening as usual, as that's when the man comes back from work. And the dog didn't see the man that particular day. Unfortunately to the dog, the man had a cerebral haemorrhage when he was delivering a lecture in university and was rushed to the hospital, and the man did not survive it. So knowing to the dog came that day and didn't see the man. The dog went home. The next day the dog came, and this dog continuously come to the station to wait for his owner, which he never returned. So initially when the dog comes there in the afternoon to wait, then the train station workers were not always happy with the dog. Because just imagine you coming around every day, just come and see a dog, and the dog will come and wait. So some people who knew the professor and the dog had already started recognizing the dog somehow. And you imagine when they used to see somebody unusually with the dog, and then the man was no more. Now, there was this guy who is a student of that man, a student of the professor, the agricultural department, who was actually expert in this breed of dog. That is the Akita breed of dog. And the man visited the gardener, who later took over the dog. A professor's gardener later took over as the owner of the dog and moved in with the dog. So the dog was now living with the professor's gardener. And then this professor student went to study about the dog from the gardener and told him everything about the dog and the loyalty and all this kind of thing. I think he took statistics of the dog at that time, and those kind of breed of dog, they were like about 30 still remaining in Japan at that particular time. So as the dog continuously go to that train station to wait for the man every day, remember that the dog was just barely a year with the man from that 1924. Actually, it was not stated actually when 1924 when the dog came, till May 21st, 1925. This was barely a year the dog has been with the man, but the bond was just more than 1 year. The bond was like an eternity kind of thing for the dog. So the dog continuously every day for the next 9 years, for over a decade, the dog continuously went to that train station. And then that student published an article about this dog, and the thing actually went viral. And that's how the dog became a national sensation. And then that was how the hostility also reduced for train station workers who are not actually happy with dogs coming. And therefore, people began to recognize the dog. And then some people would actually bring gifts and actually food and then treat the dog very nice whenever they see the dog at the train station. And the dog today is known as a symbol of uh, uh, loyalty, as I've said, and fidelity all around the globe, and is celebrated very well in Japan. The dog died sometimes in 1935 along the streets in that Shibuya town, and the dog was buried in the same cemetery with that professor, just side by side with the professor. And in the university, there is like a bronze sculpture of the man and the dog, and some other place, even in the train station, some other place in within the town and around um, Japan. Now, this dog has featured in so many like books adapted and written about, movies about this book about this dog, and the story is always adapted to teach children about family loyalty and fidelity to family in Japan and everywhere elsewhere around the globe. Now, the name the name, sorry for this pronunciation, they're Japanese names anyway. The name Hachiko is now synonymous with like loyalty. So we can say somebody, are you Hachiko? Are you loyal? Are you Hachiko? Are you loyal? Now, this is an animal that teaches us that regardless of, like, I'm talking about the family loyalty now, you may not actually sometimes agree or support what your brother or sister have done, but that does not actually take away the responsibility of loyalty to them as a brother or a sister, a mother or a family member. And this should actually be placed above everything.